Okay, I had one of my watchers ask me what I bring to the field with me. So, here I am at the field early on a Sunday morning, and let's see what I bring to the field with me. First of all, we'll just do a walk around of how I got it all packed in my truck, and then I'll go over each detail of what I brought. Okay, it looks like my giant big stick there, and my camera bag, and my charger bag, and one of my radios, my box full of glues, one of my quadcopters. I got another toolbox in there. Okay, let's see, I got a stack of wings. I've got another radio down there. It looks like I've got a CP helicopter, a small one, and another little quadcopter. Okay, let's look in here. I've got my Windex, and I've got my paper towels, and I've got my stakes and my hammer. Okay, let's look back here. Alright, I've got two more airplanes. I've got my chair. I got my booster box that I use for my batteries. Okay, let's see. I've got my fuel. Another box. Okay, I'll go over it a little more in detail as I get it out of here. Okay, I've got most of my stuff unloaded here. Here are my little pegs that I drive into the ground, which is just conduit with pipe wrap on them. I drive those down to hold the tail. It's kind of a simple way. I got, of course, my airplanes. I bring a chair. Now here's my fill box for my nitro stuff. I bring a little bit of packing tape. Bring a starter. Bring two LiPo 11-1 batteries, because that's what I run my little starter off of. I bring a neck strap. I bring 3 glow starters. Bring some packing tape for repair. And of course I've got my fuel and my little hand fuel pump on there. Okay. I bring some extra glow plugs, extra fuel line, extra wheel, a little electrical tape, some wing nuts, a few screwdrivers. Let's see here. Here's the screwdrivers I use to put together my airplanes. Put them in there. I bring a few Allen wrenches. Also bring another fuel pump. Some tank fittings. Allen wrenches. Some special tools I've made. Okay. And then I bring my aligned starter, which runs off 11-1. I start helicopters and airplanes. It's a STQ100. Comes in a little box. Okay, so I bring that. And I bring one of my toolboxes, which just has a little bit of everything in it. Adjustable wrenches, tail wheels, pliers, Velcro, wire ties. I bring a little battery-powered Dremel in case I need to Dremel something, grind on something, a little cheapy. Bring several of extra props on the size airplanes that I'm flying. Several extra servo arms. More extra Velcro. Just a little bit of everything down in that one. Alright. Bring some alligator clips that you can hook to a battery on your car or something if you need to. And that's what's in that box. Alright. Now, I bring a fuel pump for gasoline, which this is a Dubro, and it is what I use for my gasoline, my premix. So there's my break-in oil premix, and there is my full synthetic redline premix. Okay. Here's my charger I use for everything. And I really love this charger. It'll run off for 120 or 12, and it's an Onyx 235. Great working little charger. I bring it with me. I've got a little bag that I carry it in with several extra batteries. Let's see if I can show you. I've got several extra receiver batteries, and I've got extra starter batteries and everything down in there. Alright, now my other toolbox, I've got some sticky tape. I got several weights to balance my airplanes. I got more electrical tape, more fuel line, nuts and bolts and more weights. Okay. Alright, I got little screwdrivers, I've got little hacksaw blades, I got plenty of Allen wrenches, bolts. Okay. Now this is a Plano 732, and I really love this. It allows you to use these little sliders. Okay, here's everything I've got to go ahead and make my servo extensions if I need to at the field. I got my pliers and everything in there to make them with. And then I've got a fair amount of Velcro strips. That's in that one. Okay. Now in this one I got nuts and bolts, a prop reamer, some sticky tape, tail wheel, nose cone, muffler gaskets, servo arms, switches, wheel collars, you name it. Okay, now that's in that one. Alright, the next one, I got tons of zip ties, about every size, and I've also got some heat shrink for wire. Okay, now that's in those. Now let me get the ones outside. I'll put these back in real quick. Alright, now this is mostly servo arms and glue tips. I've got a few nylon bolts. I carry several nylon bolts with me, but that's servo horns, and I've also got control surface horns in here, some bolts and nuts and some CA tips. That's what's in that one. A few T-pins. Okay, and in this other side I've got a little assortment of bolts, nuts and bolts, and some fuel tank fittings. I've got some clunks, and I've got some fuel line, and I've got an extra stopper, and I got some blind nuts, some sticky back Velcro, and all kinds of different sizes of nuts and bolts. Alright, now let's see, there's my battery box that I use. I use a jumper box now. It works real good for all my chargers. It's got 120. It's also got USB, and of course it's got 12-volt sockets, and it's also got a little light. It's like a 1200 cranking amp. They're about $100. Works great. Okay, now of course I've got my 1SQ quadcopter, lots of LiPo batteries. I've got my little Axe 100 CP helicopter. It's awful fun to fly, lots of extra batteries. I've got two of my radios. I've got my Aurora 9X, and I've got my Aurora 9, which is what's going to fly my airplanes today. And let me see, what else do I have? Alright, I've also got my Alias, my Latrax Alias, a little quadcopter, something to fly later. And I do carry this, which is a little container with all my epoxies. And I got 6-minute epoxy, I've got 30-minute epoxy, I've got a mixing pad, a mixing stick, I've got Loctite, I've got debonder, okay, and then a little Allen wrench set, and then I've got thick CA and thin CA, and another set of wing bolts and a bind plug. And that's pretty well, also I got a Red Bull over there. I got a cup of coffee on the truck. So that's pretty well what I bring. Actually, I've got this one other thing here. I get these little wind socks through Hobby King. And they're pretty nice. A little wind sock. And they're only like $10. And then I get these little fiberglass poles. And I get them at Lowe's. And you can just stick that in the ground anywhere and slide that on there. You've got an instant windsock, and it just works great. Wherever you're at, you can just put it in the ground, you're ready to go. You got a windsock so you can tell which way the wind's blowing. And that's my little setup. Getting ready to start flying on a Sunday morning. Hope that answered your questions.